The system will shut off in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
Oh no.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Will it really though?
I don't know. I can't go into the menus or anything, but let's just... It burns the tires off. Hell yes. Let's do it again. This video is brought to you by Nokian Tires, a leader in safety and sustainability. Maximize performance and efficiency with their made in USA all-season tires and their dedicated Hakkapeliitta EV winter line from the inventor of the winter tire. Learn more at nokiantire.com/EV. This video is also brought to you by Magna, forward for all. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome to a very exciting day because I have bought another vehicle, a German vehicle in fact, and it's not this one. This is our test car this week. This is a new BMW M3 with a manual transmission. Really been amazing. We actually had a bunch of driving to do, a bunch of stuff to do around the LA Auto Show. And one of the things I wanted to do while I was in California was pick up a car that I purchased online. And I'm already noticing an issue with it that I did not know existed. It's behind the camera. We'll get to that in a second. These are the things you get when you buy a used cheap car. I have purchased the cheapest electric car for sale in the country again. You guys loved my red Nissan Leaf video. I daily drove that car and I loved it. It was amazing. I bought my Nissan Leaf, I think, for $3,750 at the height of the COVID, used car prices. Everything was getting expensive. I wanted to do a video on how far can your money go. And I bought that Nissan Leaf, 2012 Nissan Leaf with 70,000 miles on it with CHAdeMO charging. The AC charging had failed and we did range test, charging test. I drove it all around and then I brought the car to California to our friends at QC Charge and they fixed it because it wouldn't AC charge. Now that car is perfectly fine and running. We have a whole video on that, of course, on this channel, on the process of replacing the onboard charger. I love cheap, fun cars. That's like part of my DNA. I just think they're great. And I wanted to do it again. So I saw on Twitter a link, someone said, Kyle, we found a new cheapest electric car for sale in the country, and it's a car that is extremely rare that almost no one knows exists. You can tell it's windy. I keep adjusting my hair. I apologize to the viewers. And I bought it. I called up the guy. I said, hey, I'll pay you full asking price, except I want $1 off because I wanted the YouTube title to say I bought an electric car for under $3,000. So I paid him $2,999 plus a small Starbucks gift card as a thank you. And also I have to say a huge thank you to Eric, the seller of this vehicle, because he stored it at his house for me until I could get to LA for I think 1 month. So how often do you have someone buy a car and say, hey, can you just keep driving it and hold on to it for a month until I can get to it? Anyway, this video is the reveal. We also have some problems, a full tour, a first drive of my new Mercedes B-Class electric drive. All right, let's see what Fantic sent over to us. We got, hell yeah, the V8 Mate Ultra Light, go small, clean bigger. I gotta say, they did a thing with us for the air compressor, and I was like, this is the coolest freaking tire compressor ever. I really wish I brought it because they build some unbelievably nice things. Okay, here we go. Let's open the box. Oh, damn, look at this thing. A little tube. Nice. User manual, everything nicely packaged. Yeah, look at this nice little carrying case for it. Okay, little accessories, attachments. Oh, I'm gonna unbox this and lay it out so you can see what it is. And boom, there we go. Okay, holy smokes. We have the freaking, this is my first time seeing it, the freaking coolest vacuum I've ever seen. Woohoo! That thing sounds spicy. Okay, so we have USB-C charging, boost mode. Whoa, rips. Okay, we gotta try this out. We got a whole bunch of attachments and we have a USB-C charging cable. That is super high quality. Okay, I've got the Fantic. I'm gonna turn it on. Let's put it in boost mode. Hell yeah. I've got a little attachment on there. Aha! And I've just got the small attachment just to get into these grooves. here of this floor mat. The brush is suitable for carpets and picking up dust and pet hair on fabric surfaces. Also, there are extension hoses that can easily clean hard to reach corners. Don't miss out on this Black Friday's 30% off discount. The offer will be valid for a limited time. Francie, are you ready for the reveal?
I'm ready.
Okay. There it is.
Dun, da, da, da.
I bought a Mercedes B-Class electric drive 2014 model for $2,999. And it also doesn't charge.
Yeah, is it a steal?
I don't actually know if it's a good deal or not because the repair costs could be widely variable. There's so much to get into with this car. But first, let's just start by explaining what the heck this is. Most people don't think Mercedes ever sold the B-Class in the US market. I believe Canada had a combustion B-Class, but in the US, this car was homologated just as an electric drive model, just as an EV. And more interestingly, it uses a Tesla Model S motor and Tesla battery pack. It's actually very similar to the RAV4 EV in terms of running gear, more than anything else. So this is a Tesla-powered Mercedes from the history books that I now own. And there's so much I want to do with this car, but it all starts by going on a full tour. First of all, it's in the communication color of the B-Class electric drive. I would have bought it no matter the color or spec, but this is my preferred color and spec. It's the electric blue, I'm not sure the exact name of the color, with a gorgeous sort of, almost white interior, very oyster color interior. Take a look in there. Let's look. We're going to explore this thing together. I don't know how much these were new. I believe they were lease only. I'll have to insert some specs and some things about the car. But this one was manufactured. Let's just take a look down here in October of 2014. And it's fully VINed, 3932. Wow, 4784 GVWR. That doesn't say how much it weighs. That's how much it weighs with full payload. And very cool. It's got HID headlights. It wants 44 PSI in the tires. Look at all of this. Very Mercedes styling. Francie, what is your impression of the styling of the car?
Yeah, I think it's pretty consistent with Mercedes. Like sitting in there, you wouldn't necessarily know it's an electric car.
Yeah, no.
And
again, this was meant to be and was a mass market combustion car in Europe. It's sort of a MPV. It's got a huge hatchback in the rear. And these were never sold in the US other than a handful that were electric. I just can't believe they went through the homologation process. Look at this huge tailgate with all this space. This car is only $3,000. That's insane. But we do have to mention the big problem on this one, which is actually the exact same problem my Nissan Leaf had, except in this case, it's a little bit more detrimental. You see, this is the J1772 charging port, probably one of the first vehicles to use a J1772 charging port. And it doesn't work, doesn't charge, will not accept any juice. Now, my friend Eric, my new friend Eric, who sold me this car, and I'll walk you through the ownership history, noticed it stopped charging one day and then never drove it. So the battery pack is sat at about like 70 or 80% until basically I bought it, which is perfect. Any impressions? You're shaking your head.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess he was just like, I can't charge it, so I'll just leave it as is and wait for Kyle to come get it or someone to come get it. Yeah.
It was pretty amazing, actually. So the plan with this car, not to make anyone wait through the video, is to do the same thing we did with the Leaf. I'm going to bring it to QC Charge down in San Diego. It's only about 60 miles away from here, and we have to figure out how we're going to get this down to QC Charge today, because we have to leave and go back. You have to go to Tennessee, I have to go to Colorado in the morning. And now we have this B-Class that we can't drive there because we can't recharge it, and I don't want to leave it with a dead battery. And so we're going to figure that out in this video, whether we just go get a U-Haul and tow it down or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's sitting at 70% state of charge. Let's pop the hood. I've never played around with one of these things before. So I've also never driven a B-Class electric drive. Now I own one. Popping the hood on the B-Class. Everything feels very Mercedes. So QC Charge is going to replace the onboard charger for us. How to do this? You know how to? Oh, found it.
Yeah.
Little latch under here. And then this one goes right there. And what's cool about this particular one is our friends at QC Charge are like the B-class experts, and they've already serviced this car before. They've already done, like Eric is an EV enthusiast. He actually used to write about EVs and stuff, so like he knew what to do. And he had them rebuild the Model S motor with the new bearings already. That's a huge expense that I don't have to do for one of these, because we'll talk about it when we do we'll do a whole video on replacing it and B-class problems and tell this car's story. But all of the early Model S drive units and the RAV4 EVs and the B-classes all need new bearings because they basically go out of service. So this one's already had that major $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 service done to it. That service costs more than the whole car. So that's really a key thing to look out for. We're also going to have them look for any leakage in the motor to make sure water hasn't, any water coolant glycol hasn't escaped into the motor. There's a lot to look into on this particular one. Well, let's just take a look. We have a cooling system. We have an electric drive, branded power electronics right up here. I'm not exactly even sure what this component is. QC Charge would know everything. It has a brand new 12-volt battery that Eric just put in apparently. Also, the DC to DC converter to charge the 12-volt battery went out, the booster, and he spent, I don't know how many thousands of dollars at Mercedes, plus the expensive battery pack to replace that. So again, I didn't negotiate with him at all on the price of this car. It was listed on cars.com for $3,000. I said, can you take $1 off so I can get a funny YouTube title, and I'll give you a $25 Starbucks gift card. Now, I of course gave him a much more expensive Starbucks gift card because he held on to it for a month. You know, it cost me more than $2,999, about a little bit more, but ultimately that was just a thank you for holding on to the car. So I paid him full price, full asking price on the vehicle. That's what it was originally listed for, and it was listed for some time. I think the big scare of the onboard charger really threw people off on that. But there's more to dig into than just the problems. As far as I was told, that was the only problem with the car. Everything else works fine. Eric was frustrated with it because all of the major repairs that he's had to do with it over the last, you know, few years of ownership have cost him a lot of money. But then I'm kind of like, well, you kind of fixed everything that would break. So maybe we'll get, you know, you kind of solved all the problems and then we'll have a good car. That's my thought process on it. What should I say and what should we do? Let's show everyone inside. Let's, Francie, why don't you come back over here? I want to show everyone the tables in the back seat. These are the coolest things. By the way, huge back seat, huge headroom, and you have little picnic tables, which I thought were illegal because they can't put them on the Buzz or a few other things. So somehow this car was homologated with these fold-out tables with a drink holder. And yeah, like the car needs a detail. Colton's gonna have to go through and, you know, clean all the leather and everything. The car's got, I haven't even said the mileage,
61,342 miles.
52.
You're right.
Yeah, close enough. It's got just over 60,000 miles, which doesn't seem like much for a 2014. This car only, and the reason, I know I'm jumping around a lot, I'm just really excited. The reason this charging problem is a bigger deal than the Nissan Leaf, the Nissan Leaf had CHAdeMO, which bypasses the onboard charger because it could DC charge. This car does not have fast charging. It is AC charging only. And so QC Charge already has in stock for this car the new onboard charger. And we'll go into the costs associated, how much that would normally cost, all those things with the car. And of course, we'll do a whole video with them, and the car is going to end up there today. So why don't you hop in the back seat, Francie, because I'm going to jump in the driver's seat. Do you have the keys to it, or do I?
I do.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, we only got one set of keys for the vehicle. If you hop on the other side or in the middle, then maybe everyone can see here. It's got power seats that all work, $2,999 for a B-Class electric. It's got a typical Mercedes key.
Love it.
That you just insert here.
Very familiar.
Turn on, contactors click. We're at, you know, just under 75% state of charge. The car's only predicting 34 miles of range. That's not so good. I think on a full charge they did about 65 miles, something like that, which should be okay. We should try the air conditioning because we haven't tried any of that. So let's set that down to 70. It's definitely running. Wow, you sit really high in this thing. It really feels like an SUV seating position.
The air's supposed to be coming out of the back?
I'm not sure yet. Not yet. I think if I just go here, there we go, on the face, and AC is on.
I don't feel anything coming out back here.
I think it's still just cooling down before it comes out these vents.
Cool.
AC compressor just spun up, so the AC compressor's working. It's got heated seats.
There we go.
Hell yes. Fantastic. Now, there were a few options on the B-Class that this car doesn't have. It's got the nice wood in here, the light colored seats. It's spec'd wonderfully. Steering wheel, I think I need to put a new steering wheel on it. It's just a little greasy from all that time in service, of course. Does it have adjustable steering? Yes, it does. Tilt and telescopic wheel. How about that? Does navigation work? No navigation module connected. Well, that's fine. We don't need navigation. I've got a little system to control this. How about this? We got miles per kilowatt hour, MPKWH.
Nice.
Hell yeah. It's on a touchscreen. We're at 75% state of charge, full screen, clock. So I think I would just keep it on this 75% state of charge menu. That's perfect. So I'm really glad it was stored at a reasonable state of charge, not dead or full. AC is ice cold.
Yeah.
It's coming out back there now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in terms of options that this one doesn't have that I would have liked, but I think it's okay, is the range extended option. The range extender, all it does is allows the battery to be fully charged. And what you do is before the charging process is started, you actually select range extend, and then you plug in the car. And rather than charging to like 87% on an indicated full charge, it'll go to a full 100. And that was basically a charge limiter. This car wasn't spec'd with that. Weird that that was an option. They didn't just all have that. But that also means that this battery pack has never been full charged. It's only ever been charged to 85 to 87%.
Cool.
So that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. It's
a car that we ultimately aren't going to road trip. We don't need that much range. We're just going to use it around town. And because there's no other way of setting the charge limit, I can just leave it at 100%. And that's really only like 85% state of charge in the battery pack. So that's cool. So I'm okay with it not having that. If there's ever a way to retrofit it, may as well. But these are all the things we'll explore. It also, most annoyingly, doesn't have the paddle shifters. How much can you complain about getting a car like this? But it doesn't have the paddle shifters. And the paddles on the wheel, all that would do is adjust your regen. So I don't actually know what the regen is set up like in this vehicle, but we're certainly going to find out. But you would basically be able to go auto regen to like max, almost one pedal driving to full coasting. This one is just one setting for regen, but it should do blended regen on the brake pedal. So we're going to try that out as we take it for a drive for the first time. Other than that, wow, it seems like a beautiful car, a quick wash and an interior detail away from looking almost brand new. Before we head out, I mentioned right at the beginning that there's an issue I didn't know about, which is minor. Let's pop outside the car. I just want to show everyone really quick. We'll leave the AC running. And it's got the Harman Kardon sound system, so neat. This is what I didn't know, but I mean, I think that's pretty minor. Both this and my Nissan Leaf have a dent in the back left-hand corner. The craziest part is this cost $750 less than my Nissan Leaf. And so why did I buy this car? Well, I'm not here just to try and buy cheap cars and have fun with them. I really want to show potential buyers what buying a used old EV could be like. And this is probably a pretty bad example of that, to be honest, because the B-Class is not well supported in the aftermarket. QC Charge is one of the only aftermarket companies to basically service these things in the US. There's a couple in Europe as well, but the thing is kind of like, I don't think Mercedes even wants to ever touch this car ever again. And now we know people at Mercedes, so it'll be interesting to see if we have a problem, how much they're able to help out or not. I'm not sure, but I think this is going to be an interesting ownership story, because if something breaks, it's not like the Mercedes dealer will have any idea what to do. My understanding, the way that this is all integrated, is you have all of the Mercedes low voltage stuff for your head unit, for your seat control modules, for basically running the entire car, and that's all run through one OBD port up here. But I think there's a second OBD port and basically a separate entire electrical architecture running the drivetrain and the battery, all the Tesla stuff. And so it should be really fascinating to dive into how this car is wired up and figured out. So what we should do, of course, is we should lock up the M3. Let's leave it here and let's go just around the block in the B-Class and drive it for the first time. Based off of my initial impression, it looks really nice. One little dent in the rear bumper, just needs a bumper in the back. Maybe we'll even find one cheap used, I don't know. I'll probably just leave it like that. And I already have Nokian studded Hakkapeliitta winter tires for it. Thank you, Nokian, for sponsoring this video, as well as every video this year on Out of Spec Reviews. So we have some studded winters ready to go on this thing. And honestly, I think it's gonna be a pretty usable daily hatchback for everyone to throw the dogs in, for Jordan to drive around, for us to enjoy, and very much looking forward to it. So let's get in and go for a drive.
Kyle, you know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
I think you need to tell me about the battery in this thing.
Yeah, I know. Sorry for waiting so long. So it has a roughly 36 kilowatt hour battery pack, gross capacity.
Okay.
This one, we can use about 28 kilowatt hours out of it, which is like a really huge buffer. I'm not sure if that's mostly up top or at the bottom, but we're really only using the middle bit of the battery. But then there's also, I mentioned that range extension function, which this one doesn't have. I think that increases your usable capacity up to 33, 32 kilowatt hours usable, something like that.
Okay.
So they really don't want you to full charge it very much. This one we can just leave full. I'll probably still leave it at lower state of charge, but you can full charge it. So yeah, it's predicting 34 miles of range in eco mode, 30 miles of range at 74%. That seems really bad.
That seems really, really, really bad.
But I don't know if that's a guessometer or anything like that. We have a lot to explore. A visit workshop message has briefly popped up on the display, and I think a lot of that has to do with the onboard charger having an issue and some high voltage components not being happy. And that's what we really need to do, is get this car to QC charge. There's the malfunction visit workshop message coming up on the display there. Stop vehicle, see owner's manual. So will it drive with this message? Yes. Okay, so even though the messages are up, it still drives.
He said that it might stop the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that when we were talking to him, that if that comes up, sometimes it stops the car.
No way. So we bought a B-Class with some serious problems. That's amazing. So anyway, it's going to the service center, so they'll fix it.
Yeah, we'll see how far we get in this drive around.
Yeah, okay. Could be a pretty wild situation. No adaptive cruise, but it does have cruise control. It's got windshield washers.
And wiper fluid.
How about that?
Taking care of us.
It says stop vehicle, see owner's manual.
Don't do it.
Yeah, lets us go into drive. Let's go drive it. What's the worst case if it dies? Driving it for the first time now. Wow. It's really, honestly, pretty quiet initially.
I thought so too.
I'm not feeling any regen at the moment. Let's go to the right through here. Nice Supra. And pretty long pedal. It's a top hinged accelerator pedal. Wow, this is a great view of the road. Oh, sorry, brakes are pretty, they're there.
They're there.
Okay, so my understanding is it has about 175 horsepower and 200 and something pound-feet of torque. It's roughly 6.5 seconds 0 to 60, which seems spicier.
Mode.
Yeah. So there's some noises, some things coming from the back. Let's launch it, shall we?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Spin it. I don't want to go too crazy in the neighborhood. It just spins the tires.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. It does burnouts. And there is a setting in here where you can disable ESP, which is awesome. There's also a sport mode, which the displayed range goes down, but whoa, it's fast.
Fun.
Whoa, there's even torque steer. It
Nice.
feels faster than the Bolt. That's really cool.
I would expect that from Mercedes.
This feels good. I mean, it's a Model S motor, so they just have it detuned.
Right.
Yeah, there's some rubbing noises or something coming from the back end. Are you experiencing that at all? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. I'm not sure what it is, though.
Almost sounds like a wheel bearing. It wouldn't be in the trunk. It's something rotational. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's very minor. We can get everything, checked out and serviced at QC Charge. We'll have them do a full service on the vehicle and get it in order, because honestly, once it comes back to Colorado, there's no chance we'll ever get this thing back. Here's another pretty rare car, plug-in hybrid Clarity actually, but the battery electric ones are the rare ones. We also saw a hydrogen Clarity not too long ago. So I don't want to do too much driving on this car out of the neighborhood or anything for fear of it shutting down. I really don't know what to expect. But there's a like a preconditioning function where if you run into the store, you can hit this button. It keeps climate on. You know, if you were to find a perfect working one of these, I think they're still somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000, which seems like a pretty reasonable amount of money for a nice Mercedes of this vintage that's fully electric. But I think we really need to talk to QC Charge about the viability of owning one of these things out of warranty, because from my understanding, there's just almost no factory support from Mercedes anymore, and it could be a little bit of a pain to own one. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing some grinding or something. It honestly could just be the brakes are like rusted over as well, although I'm not hearing it as I hit the brakes. We're gonna have them check all of these little things. They're just minor stuff, but what can you expect for under $3,000
right
on a used car? And Eric was very open. He's like, yeah, probably need some things. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, we'll get it. We'll make some videos with it. We'll enjoy it, and we'll hold on to it. Why not? It's a cool story to enjoy one of these things. It also laid skid marks right there.
From you?
Yeah, from our launch. Oh, wow. It drives really nice, Francie.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's kind of just rolled right out of the driveway. Yeah, I'm happy it hasn't stopped on us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a cool option. I could see it being like
smooth.
a good little commuter around town.
Absolutely.
As long as it works.
Yeah, once the charger is fixed, I mean, you could definitely do like a daily commute to the office in this thing. Fully electric, pretty economical, and I just don't think you can beat the price. Yeah. So there's the M3. Let's park it over here. It says no parking from 8 a.m. to 12 on Fridays. That is not today. And let's figure out how the heck we're going to get this thing to QC Charge. I got to look up the nearest U-Haul and see if we can go borrow a truck and trailer. But I'm going to shut climate control off there. Doesn't change the predicted range. And yeah, let's see. Are there any other settings in the system that we need to go into? I know there's some like secret menus and stuff we can go. We have miles per kilowatt hour. We saw 4 miles per kilowatt hour at one period through there, which is cool. Some energy flow stuff. There's also, if I come to the top, hold on, there we go. We have nav phone, so it has Bluetooth.
Cool.
It has Bluetooth audio, USB audio. I mean, that's fine. And a Harman Kardon sound system. And doesn't seem like the navigation works. Maybe it's CD based. Oh, there is a CD in here. And it is
Beethoven. We could.
What a classy man Eric is. Says a lot about the owner.
It does.
I feel really good about this car. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, yeah, certainly. I think it's hard to get certain parts for them. These are all things we'll explore.
No sunroof.
And then Beethoven's on. No sunroof. This would have been nice to be a sunroof.
It would have been.
But okay, well, let's go to U-Haul. We'll leave this here for now. We drove it a mile. We got the key. Just lock and unlock, very basic with a panic button. I wonder if I hold it close if it will let me turn it on. There used to be a little bug with Mercedes of this vintage.
Really?
Yeah, where you could like hold the key, the laser cut key or whatever close, but this one's actually not laser cut, I don't think. Maybe it is. Don't know. But yeah, anyway, you just throw this in, turn it to, that's position 1, position 2. Do you have to go all the way for the contactors to click?
No, I had not.
Nope. Oh, that's neutral. Yeah, I think you do have to. Yep. You have to rotate the key all the way, and then the ready status comes on. Hazards work. I mean, this feels very high quality.
It does. It's bringing me back to the C320 days. We
got definitely a Starbucks size 1 cup holder up here. 3 cup holders in general. Or in storage here. We have a component, some sensor of some kind. That's always an interesting thing to find. I should ask him what that's for. Looks like almost like a resolver. Something for, who knows.
What is this thing? That's what you can post it on that subreddit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if the Mercedes people would really know too much. The seats are unbelievably comfortable. They're firm, but typical German Mercedes. Little squeaky up here.
How long was it sitting?
I think only maybe 3 months, something like that.
That's pretty good holding its state of charge.
Yeah, there seemed to be no phantom drain at all. Wow, I love it. And there's 3 memory seat positions.
That's great.
All right, let's go to U-Haul and see if we can get a truck and trailer.
Let's get hauling. Okay, that sounds great. That's a great thing to ask.
Bye, B-Class.
We thought about maybe driving it to the U-Haul Center, but it's about 9.4 miles away, which is just a little too far for comfort. So
yeah, I don't want to leave the battery low in case the problem turns out to be more than just the onboard charger and the car's going to have to sit while we wait for parts. I mean, truly, we don't know what's wrong with it. We are now pulling into U-Haul. We had to stop for something called gas, which just seems ugh. But kind of worth it because this car's nice and fun to drive in the canyons. And yeah, well, we got a really sick Subaru over here, Model 3, and we're just about to pick up some vehicle of some kind. I don't know what we're gonna get, but we have to do about I don't know, 100-mile round trip, 120-mile round trip down to San Diego and back. It's not quite San Diego, it's there in Vista QC Charge. Beautiful Vista, California is what Tony always says. So yeah, let's get a truck trailer, hook it up, and go back, pick up the B-Class, and then come back this way to yeah, see, hopefully this all works. All right, we were stupid. I don't know why I was thinking we would even need to take 2 cars. We're gonna leave the M3 here at U-Haul, which they assure me is safe. And then Francie and I are both gonna take our Silverado with the trailer over to, you know, get the B-Class, bring it down, and then come back up, and then we'll exchange the cars. So we'll be road tripping this thing, 120-mile road trip in this setup. Hell yeah, bring it on. Let's do it. Well, you join me in our Silverado, brand new truck. It's only got 5,000 miles on it. Love these things. And we got a single cab. Oh, buddy. She boogies. V8 lifestyle. Sounds good. Well, you join me back in the B-Class. We've arrived with the U-Haul just over here in front of the car. And Francie wants to get some food, so we're going to go out, run to get a little bit of food. Eric said it was cool if we drive on his plate. I have it under my insurance just around town a little bit. And of course we have the signed title, so there is a way we can drive the car legally for a short period of time before it gets registered. And of course we have Eric's plate on there. So yeah, let's go. We'll just take it around. We're just going up and down the road a little bit just to drive it and enjoy it. We have stop vehicles, see owner's manual. Oh, these are the things you love to see when you buy a car, but when you buy a car for under $3,000, well, I think this is kind of goes a little bit with the territory. It's a little bit on the extreme side of the cheap used car situation, but I want to know what it's going to take to get this thing back running perfectly and then sort of give it a second lease on life. So let's go get some lunch. I can hear the motor's a little bit louder than it should from a bearings perspective. Yeah, it's just I'm gonna have the guys check over everything and see if we need to do anything major to it, but I don't mind a little bit of noise from the bearings. All right, let's go get some food. Yeah, we're at 73% state of charge and all is good here in the B-Class, full power. Man, it's got some juice. This thing is zippy. And you have a pretty good seating position, really high seating. Car feels nice, steering feels good. The brake pedal's a little bit weird. You can tell this is pre-Mercedes figuring out really how to do brake pedal blending, but honestly, even in the new ones, they're not great anyway, so Mercedes still hasn't fully figured it out. This is from the era of the SLS electric drive, which was, you know, they had the B-Class electric and a B-Class hydrogen, actually, which I believe they only leased in California and brought all those back. I don't think there's any left. The electrics were sold to people and not brought back. And then the SLS electric drive was, you know, a very rare. I think only 9 were sold, and I've been lucky enough to drive one of those, well over $1 million car. And I have a review on this channel of one of those quad motor SLS electric drives. Very cool. Let's go get some Taco Bell. What do you say, Francie?
sounds good. Okay.
It says, please start the engine. Otherwise, the system will shut off in 3 minutes.
Nerve-wracking.
We're going to just put this on the trailer and bring the trailer over here. This thing needs some QC charge. So why would it think that the engine is not running? Maybe. Didn't Eric say that he had to have Mercedes replace the DC to DC converter? Just recently, I think that happened. Okay. That would indicate that the 12 volt's not being topped up. And I think this would be a sign of that, I would think. Of the 12 volt just not getting charged. Because it's basically like not getting the power to fill up the 12 volt battery. Yeah, this thing might have more gremlins than we think. Oh boy. Could be an exciting adventure here in the B class, but at least it runs, and if man made it, man can fix it.
That's a good motto.
Yeah, so we will make this thing perfect. Oh, and there's pretty cool. There's an E-cell power capability gauge right here. This is indicating that we have max performance available. If the battery's really cold or at really low state of charge, then this will drop down. So we can always tell if it dies by the max going down. But right now it's giving us full power, so we have no issues at all.
No issues.
No issues aside from any of this that we're looking at here. It's all part of the fun of making YouTube videos. Oh, you can torque it over at 0. I just brake boosted it and it won't.
Just get back in 3 minutes, huh?
Oh yeah, let me put it in sport mode. Woo, so fast. I can't go into the menus or anything, but let's just... It burns the tires off. Hell yes. Let's do it again. The traction control flashes briefly. Yeah, the B-Class rips. This is not slow. Not slow at all. The window doesn't want to go up on the first go. Could just need a calibration. This whole car just needs a going through, reset every module, just re-wake it up from, the factory, and then we should be good. Oh, the system will shut off in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Will it really though?
I don't know. Oh, the system is shutting off.
What's happening to you?
Warning, do not let the system distract you. I can't. Oh wait, it's reconnected. The car drives fine.
So is that warning?
That was just the HMI.
Okay, so the car did not shut off. You were still driving.
Thumping in the rear.
Do you hear that too?
That's normal HVAC noises. The thumping in the rear seems like something isn't great on the rear axle. Like maybe it needs a whole fresh alignment and wheel bearing.
Where are we?
I don't actually know.
I think we go back and turn left over there. Yeah, turn, actually I have no idea. Well, we can still drive it, which is great.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. Just needs an alignment, just bearings, bushings, basic, 10-year-old car needs.
but what do you think about that kind of warning coming up when you're...
Yeah, no, not normal. Normal. That's why I'm thinking maybe the 12 volt isn't being charged. Because...
But do you think that's a good warning?
No.
It should say something...
Oh,
It didn't
you mean like the system is shutting off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not perfect. Let's just put it that way. I think my Leaf actually feels maybe slightly better in terms of like all the little stuff. But it's an old German car with a startup American electric automaker thing. Yeah, Francie, I think we have made it. Let's go throw it on the trailer, which is just, if you look ahead, straight ahead, there's the truck and trailer. Let's throw it on there, and we will let the guys, Tony and Alex at QC Charge, they can go through this thing and figure out what the heck is going on with it.
We don't need the risk.
We don't need to deal with that. Yep, absolutely. I think I forgot to put the parking brake on the truck.
Yeah.
But we bought the insurance, so it's okay.
Oh my God.
Call on that thing.
Yeah.
How are we looking up here?
You need to come forward some more?
Yep, just up and over that.
Good.
We are on the move now, merging onto the highway. Wide open throttle. Here's where we need full power. Come on, V8, let's go. Trying to merge. As fast as that B-Class has been in a while. Yeah, take a look. If you look behind us, you'll see it on the trailer. Oh, that felt uncomfortable. But things are going well. We're just cruising along here on one of the highways, not sure which one, as we make our way 89 miles. That seems a lot longer than the 65 my phone predicted. We should look at that. Down to QC Charge. Welcome to beautiful Vista, California here. Absolutely gorgeous. And we are pulling into QC Charge. There's actually a really, really nice brewery up here on the right. don't think we'll have time to visit that particular one this trip, but if you look ahead, the sky is really nice out there, and we're just about to pull in. So let's pull in, let's unload the B-Class and drop this thing off. There's a little key drop box, and I don't know, I'm gonna have them do a quick preliminary check just to see exactly, make sure that the charger is broken. Let's get a, you know, sort of a vehicle check. And then what I'll do is I'll schedule a time to fly back out here and film us fixing whatever's broken. And it should be kind of fun. Always enjoy working with QC Charge. You know, getting the Leaf back in order was really a great project, worked out well, and so now we're doing it all over again. Great, well, let's go drop this thing off, and I don't know, I guess that'll be the end of the video at that point. I will say, when Eric was delivering us the car, it was really funny. So first of all, the car, I think I already mentioned, Eric is the second owner. We are now the third owner. And he was just basically like not selling the car hard at all. What do you say, Francie? Mm-hmm. He's like, this is such a pile of garbage and it just keeps breaking and it's so expensive. And I'm like, wow, that's usually not something you find someone selling a car that says. So I don't know. My impression is maybe he's fixed all the things that could go wrong, or maybe there's just a never-ending list of problems for this car. It's too early to tell. We need to get it checked up and fully sorted here at QC Charge before we know. The big question mark is going to be what happens if it breaks when it's in Colorado. We might really be screwed. I'm not sure. But here we are. Beautiful sunset ahead. And yeah, let's go. This is the Tesla Service Center here on the right. Boom, tons of cars. So let's go drop this off. All right, well, I was on the phone with my friend Alex, who you guys know, who works here at QC Charge, and we were just walking through some of the issues. While that was going on, Francie kindly unhooked the B-Class and is now about to send it off the back of the trailer here. Really nice running lights on this one. So, okay, we're on. Headlights are on. Nice auto leveling headlights as well. Xenons. And noticed a little flicker when the contactors clicked on the rear light there. But there we go. So I'll help you back down, just do a little spotting. I think it should just be easy and straight back. Yeah, straight on back, you're good. Whoa, full send. Nice. And she's off.
Immediately got that warning.
Oh, so maybe the 12 volts getting low. It might not. I was just talking to Alex and we think like maybe it's not even an onboard charger problem. If it can't keep the 12 volt topped up, then it may not allow the battery to charge. Oh. So
the battery that he paid.
Yeah, a lot of money for it. Yeah. So it could, Alex was saying it's very rare for the onboard chargers to fail, but that's what Eric said was the problem. So I'm guessing someone diagnosed it.
Right.
Or he just thought it was the onboard charger because it wasn't charging. I didn't ask him that. Wow, look at the ambient lighting in this thing, Francie.
Not bad.
This is nice.
That's a nice car.
So Alex said before I come out, they're going to do a full diagnosis on it, check all the modules, check everything, you know, sort of get to the root cause, and then we'll come out and shoot the video on fixing it and getting it roadworthy.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, I would just throw it in any one of these parking spaces. And that'll be that. And then we got another hour-and-a-half drive back up to LA. Well, guys, that is the new sort of out-of-spec project car right here. A very cheap and seemingly pretty broken Mercedes B-Class electric drive. They were later badged as B250Es, but this is one of the first ones that I think came into the US, and you know, they've honestly been fairly reliable. I think hopefully we got an okay deal because, again, the motor rebuild has already been done. The seal in the motors is still a concern and certainly still something that is inevitable to fail. But it sounds like Tesla may even be releasing, as well as QC Charge, a sort of a motor without the coolant, doing an oil-cooled situation, which I think would be potentially so much better. So many different buzzing noises and things coming from the brake booster, from the AC compressor on this car, and that's not unusual for these early electric cars to make quite a bit of noise. So cool. Well, final thoughts, Francie, on the B-Class? You think you're gonna Want to drive this thing when it's all fixed up?
Yeah, all the very dramatic warnings make me curious about what's going on in there, obviously. And but it seemed to drive even when it said it was going to shut down. So yeah, more curious than anything.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea what's wrong with it. I think all reasonable things to, I mean, who knows what's going on here. But anyway, one thing, Francie, I thought you would find interesting is there's actually a radar behind here. Every B class had the sort of front collision warning and also distance control. It doesn't do distance control for like adaptive cruise control, but I think it does adaptive regen. So if you come up on a car, it'll blend in more regen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff to play around with once it's fixed. I didn't want to drive it too much in case it really is a basket case. I didn't want the battery sitting too low. So it's perfectly happy in the middle somewhere. Let's take a look at all the stats before we leave it. Something I always do with the cars is just check on everything. So it says stop vehicles, see owner's manual. So we're at just over half state of charge, 32 miles of range estimated. Climate control is off, so it doesn't kick on and off a bunch if they move the car. There's no way to shut the headlights off, although I would do that to save the cycle on the Xenons. And yeah, fantastic stuff. I'm just thrilled with the car. Even has a light up kick plate down here, just like the Coda actually. And good news for the viewers, the Coda, we just got the title for the Coda.
Nice. Yeah, you're really excited about that.
Yeah, which means now I can actually drive it and do some fun stuff. So while this is getting fixed, I'll be getting the Coda all ready to rock and roll. And can't thank you guys enough for watching this Out of Spec Reviews video. The new B-Class electric drive in good company with all the RAV4 EVs here at QC Charge. This is so freaking epic. I've always wanted one of these. Now I've got one, and well, we got some problems to work through. We'll see you on another one soon. Bye-bye.